Mic check. Hello everybody, welcome to the show. I'm trying out a new webcam setup here, so hopefully there's not anything like a major delay. Doesn't look too bad between my webcam and what's going to the screen. I am SM Sith Lord, and this is the bi-weekly Somnium Space Web Worlds SDK build stream. I had some technical problems with my computer over the weekend. It took me out for like 2.5 days. But all that's repaired now, and I'm ready to get back to what I was going to do on Friday, and that is finish this web world here. I'm starting a little bit late. It's already 9:30, so this will be like an hour and a half build stream, but hopefully that's enough to get this thing out there on the interwebs. Okay, let's click test here. This is a holistic world, so it's going to completely replace the parcel that I put it on. And it's going to look like this, except for, let me turn on the little placeholder dude walking around. This little dummy guy, it would be an actual Ready Player Me after it's bound to my parcel, but in the test environment, it's just this little dude running around. Okay, this looks good. You'll be able to click on this to open it up. Now, I need to assign something onto there. This whole storefront is an example storefront. So I'm going to write, I've prepared a hackmd that I'm going to try to put onto those in-game screens. So when you click on this, what would normally be like the t-shirt inventory for the person whose storefront this is, I'm just going to say that here. So I've created a hackmd here. This is like a kind of like a readme generator thing. And it's going to say t-shirts, t-shirt inventory list. In this is where you I'll just call it t-shirt inventory, but everybody will know that it could be things other than t-shirts. Putting your real inventory list on the wall like this, on an in-game, in-world screen instead of as an in-world 2D screen instead of as 3D objects allows you to update your inventory without needing to update it. Okay, that looks good, and I'll do the same thing over here for best deals. Okay, now I want to get this URL. Let's see here. When I click share, we want it to be like that. And I want to assign it to this thing. Okay, so in the Somnium Web Worlds SDK here, I'm not in all of the chats. I think I'm just in the Twitch chat. I'll jump into the YouTube chat. Welcome everybody, wherever you're viewing from. And I'll try to jump into this chat while at the same time while I'm describing this. Oh yes, so in the Web Worlds SDK, you have these templated interactive objects. Now, right now, the main one is the SOM web browser here, and it lets you put any URL you want into here, and that's the URL that's the video that will get loaded, or that's the address that will get loaded into the iframe when somebody interacts with the screen, or they might choose to open it in a new tab. It's up to the user when they interact with the screen. So, some things to think about if you're designing your own are, if you want people to be able to display your content on the in-world screen, you're going to have to make sure that your content loads in an iframe. Okay, I believe that the HackMD stuff here loads in an iframe. If you expect people to just open it in a new tab, then it doesn't need to load in an iframe. So it's not too hard to make a custom inventory list that's going to show things in an iframe, but as far as like a payment portal or something like that, that's probably not going to load very well in an iframe. So for that, you probably want to link out and open in a new tab. So you can have it so when somebody clicks on one of these, let me go to something that's already on the internet to show you what I mean. This would be a web world. So you have a couple options for these things that you do kind of want to open in a new tab. You can either have like put a sign next to your web tab that says open this in a new tab. Get off of me, Zombie Joe. Just trying to show you what the UI is like when you interact with it. You can open in browser or view in world. Now, if you open in the browser, oh, I'm sorry, that opens in a new tab. If you view it in world, it'll show your stuff on the wall there. But that doesn't mean your whole thing has to be on the wall. You can have links on your thing that's on the wall that open in a new tab. So it's not like you have to open in a new tab right away. You can have an inventory list, and when you click on something inventory list, that opens in a new tab. And that's probably going to be really useful for something like this storefront, because you'd have a list, a dynamic list that's easily to update, shown on the wall, and when you click on it, it will open in a new tab for people to check out and stuff like that, because usually you don't want people checking out inside of an iPhone. So, with that mindset, and it's kind of like following what GTA 5 does. They have a stack of t-shirts. You go up to the stack of t-shirts and interact with it, then you see the list of t-shirts. And the list of t-shirts is way longer than anything that could have possibly fit onto the shelf of a brick and mortar store. And that's kind of the point also. You don't want to have a gigantic warehouse to showcase your inventory with people wandering around this huge place. I mean, it's cool, it's 3D, that's meta, but it's not too efficient for the user. Something like this is actually more efficient for the user. And it's still a mix between, it's still immersive. It's not just the 2D website where they're choosing they want to check out the today's deals or the t-shirt inventory. They're actually walking around the 3D world to do it. And after this is bound to the parcel, this is going to be a multiplayer social area as well as a store. So you'll be able to hang out and talk to people about what they're shopping for in front, or have a sales associate that just hangs out in your world all the time, and when somebody comes up, they're like, hey, how you doing? There's chat bubbles and that kind of stuff. That's an option too. So I'm assigning these URLs to what shows on the in-world screens. Let's assign the best deals list to the in-world screen, although I kind of want that to be a video. What video do I have on there right now? Because I have it labeled as a video. Oh, this is tiptoeing in my Jordans. That's perfect video there. Okay, that one could stay there as an example of, hey, you could put a cool video there. And I'll put another screen that loads something different. So, my tasks today to get this deployed are to do any last minute enhancements that come to my mind, like adding another screen perhaps. Oh, I need to add collisions to this. And after I have collisions added, and maybe spice up the surroundings a little bit, maybe not. Then I have optimization. I got to take some of these 4K textures or these 2K textures down to 512 or something like that. Compress them, use basis compression and some other game engine optimizations, and then we're good to go. So, I also wanted to put billboards around here telling people how to move around. Let me think here. I just want to finalize the content before I move into the optimization phase. Those mannequins over there, they don't need anything. We don't want to add too much stuff to the scene because that will clutter it up. Let's add some collisions. Structure. And slab. I think those are our main collisions. Cool, cool, cool. So on this, has a weird scale, doesn't it? I think that'll be okay. We're gonna add physics collision, and we're also gonna add a physics rigid body. And the collision, we're gonna say to use a mesh. Now it's warning us that this is non-uniform scale. But hopefully that doesn't matter. The asset that we're going to add is called Cube04. Okay. We will see how well that works out. We're going to do the same thing over here. Add physics collision, add physics rigid body. So the you need to add both to make it so you can stand on it. That's the short reason why we're adding both, just because we have to. For the type here, I want to also use a mesh for this one, and the mesh for this one is just called cube. Okay, and this is also giving me the warning about being non-uniform scale. So let's see how much that non-uniform scale stuff impacts me, because if it impacts me a lot, I may just kind of trace the structure with primitive colliders. Let's see. Walking around here. So far, so good. That's highly accurate. That one is there. Happy with that. Dang. I'm even able... Oop, fell off there. I'm even able to walk up the stairs. The collider was that detailed. And it's working wonderfully. They told me to be afraid. They told me to be afraid. But everything looks fine. Let's fall off here. Make sure that I can't walk through the walls. I can't walk through the walls. Now the couches could probably use some colliders. Now I believe that I used primitive colliders. The other map that I used, the couch. I only have one couch up here. I'm going to put a couple more couches in here. But let's add a primitive collider to this. So just like the other colliders I added, I'm going to do a collision and a rigid body. But for the collision, I'm going to use a primitive. Okay, scratch that. I'm not going to add the collider straight to this thing. I'm going to add the collider under this thing. We're going to add a new entity, and I'll just call it Col. And this is so I can move the collider around, because the collider that I'm adding is not going to perfectly align with the mesh. I'm not going to use a mesh collider because it's overkill for this couch. This couch doesn't need to be perfectly colliding. So now that I have a box collider, I can mess with these sliders to set its dimensions. And I can use the gizmo to move it up and down where I want it. All right, there's my couch. And I could still clone it as a unit to put it up here. Look at people that mosey all the way up here. I'll put something up here for them because I don't have any more inventory up there. One more over here. Right. They may have already appeared up here. Yeah, there they are. Are they already solid? No. But after I refresh, they would be solid. I could add a couple trees up here, and I will, just to finish off decorating this area. Too many. Also get a little extra decoration down here from it. Okay, oh, take it, take it. When you have this many trees, you should batch them, and I'm not batching them. So I'm not doing everything that I can do to optimize this, but we are doing some. Now these balls down here don't look good. Let's do something about that. Okay, now we have stuff upstairs for those upstairs people. And putting more merch up here would be a good idea. The thing is, maybe it wouldn't be such a good idea. Maybe this is the hangout spot. And I say that because this area, only the elite website visitors are going to make it all the way up to that area. Walking around at all in a 3D space is going to be very new to a lot of people. Like, they're going to come to your 3D storefront and be like, this storefront is 3D. I'm in a game. I'm not a gamer. Maybe they're not a gamer. This is what they would say if they were. And they actually might find your storefront might be the funnest thing that they do on their phone or whatever their device is that day. It's true. If they're not a gamer, going to your 3D storefront is like a game to them. Cool. All right. We got this going down. I don't want to go too heavy on the details. The texturing on these things killing me, Jerry, but I don't want to go over there. Killing me. That's from a local carpet commercial that I'm quoting, which probably nobody knows. Anyways, all right. We got the links in. We got something going on upstairs. I'm leaving the bathrooms in just because that's awesome. The reflections will look a little bit different after they are deployed. Right now I have the sky looking like this, and I'm just thinking, is this the best option for a sky? Perhaps it is. Okay, now let's go to, we got the collisions in, check. The next thing I wanted to do was figure out if I wanted to add any more details before I went to optimizing textures. Now I already optimized some of the textures, but I need to finish optimizing the textures. We're doing all right on time. I still have like an hour to finish this up and show how to deploy it without even owning web space. You can deploy this and bind it to your parcel. Off in the distance. It seems like I need something off in the distance. Let's go to Sketchfab and see what they have for neon virtual landscape. Nothing. Neon landscape. What do we got for neon landscape? That's neat. It's a good chance I won't find anything suitable for me here. What is that stuff? It's so high resolution. Oh, here we go. That's kind of what I want, but that's a road. I don't want a road. I can't believe that nobody has what I want. This art asset set just calls out to me. It takes a while to load, I guess. Just makes me want to build with it. Build a whole little city in a web world. Use batch rendering to make the tiles render together. It's like fun. But that's not for today. What I was looking for I did not find, so I'm going to have to think of a way to improve the looks along the horizon that I could do in 5 or 10 minutes without opening up 3ds Max. Is that even possible? It might not be. I might need to open 3ds Max. Let's see. You know what I could do? Just put water around this world. Let's do that. I have water somewhere. Let's try to copy my water out of a different world. Wow, the skyboxes. It's pretty. It might be the same skybox that I'm using. Pick a new folder to hold the stuff I'm bringing in here. Just call it water. Is that skybox better than the skybox that I'm actually using? Yep. Do you know what this means? It means we're using another skybox is what this means. Let me move it over. Oh, actually, I could just delete this skybox. Goodbye. And then go over to this skybox. We're gonna assign it to the rendering here. In the scene settings, that's what I got to when I clicked that little cog up there. It took me to the scene settings. Nice. Nice and bright. I like it. Let me see. I should probably pre-filter. It's already pre-filtered, which explains why it's so bright. Okay. Now that we've got this new skybox in here, everything looks different and bright and cheery. Okay, I'll take it. Let's refresh to make sure the shaders are showing what they should. Okay. Things look a little flat because it's so bright, but that's all right. Now the reflections are a little weird over here. Okay, I think I'm going with that. Now, the other thing that I was thinking of bringing over was the water. And I think that I will. So I copied over the material good. Now let's copy over the object. There it is. Got some water. Let's raise it up. Okay, the fog is no good now, I see. Did I have any fog on this camera, I wonder? None. So let me see what this looks like with none. Wow, it looks a lot better with none. We're gonna go with none fog. Okay, I think that we need 3D letter. Well, it says store, so that would be the 3D letters of the store. Just trying to get some like screenshot angles here because you would want definitely to have a good showcase for your storefront. So you would need some good screenshot stuff. Also, you'd want to draw people in. So where would the spawn zone be? It'd be out here. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to make this like a board game. Now, if you're a gamer, this might seem really rudimentary, like why? But if you're not a gamer, you might not behave the way that you would expect. Or, you know, a non-gamer might not behave the way that you would expect a gamer to behave. As far as they spawn into a world, they're going to check out the objective or the focal point, the house. So we're going to make a path for the person to walk into there like it's the game Sorry. We're going to assign this to it. This is going to be where you spawn. Call this the runway. It will be a box, and I'll stretch it out. There we go. Now I do need to make this have collisions. And think about, is this really the perspective I want the person to spawn at? Yeah, this is actually a pretty good perspective. It's not too far away, and I want to have... I want to have collisions on it and some perhaps signage out here also. Okay, let's get some collisions on this thing. Add it to the runway. Physics, collision, physics. And I'll estimate or approximate the actual size that I need. It won't be exact, but it'll be pretty good. I believe I have some images that I can use for billboards in my shared folder somewhere. I'll put them here or might be good. Now I'm thinking of just putting primitive shapes floating around in the distance. I don't know. Let's see how that would look. It might not look good, but we are going to find out. Stuff like a big old cone. Not digging the cone, but maybe a box? Turn off shadows so it can be optimal. Yeah, that helps a little bit. So let's add a few more of these things to break up the platform here. I don't know if those are good. No, those aren't good. We gotta get rid of those because they attract attention and then people are gonna go to them and be disappointed. So if there's nothing out there, there's nothing out there. It's gotta look like there's nothing out there. This platform that I'm standing on might not need to be so big because I have water now. Oh, but it's actually better big. So I need to leave that alone. All right, so I spawn out here. Is that it? I think that might be it. I spawn out here and I'm ready to optimize. I got like 55 minutes to optimize and get this thing uploaded. I say we roll with it. We roll with what we got. Now, optimization. Here's a way to check optimization. You go to the developer tools, you go to the network tab, and now, make sure you zoom in correctly. You're gonna right, well, I'm in Chrome, I right click and I choose empty cache and hard refresh. And I am in the network tab here and I'm just looking at all the requests happening. Unfortunately, there's always gonna be a lot of requests unless you use texture atlases and bundle things together. Now, the thing that I'm most concerned about is size. So I'm gonna sort by size and now I see what I have loading that are huge. What do I have loading that is huge? Images for the shoes. Okay, I gotta check the shoe images. What else do I got? Those aren't huge. Those aren't very big. Wow. Wait a second. I'm pretty well optimized here. Hold on. I must have already did optimization at the end of last stream. Is that possible? I'd say that's entirely possible. This is a 512 texture. Great. All right. So let's go through the process of setting up a GitHub repo and uploading this to it. Now, did I already set up a repo is the next question. How do I get to my repos? Oh, man. No, show my repositories. Showroom, theater. Okay, I don't have storefronts. So let's make a new repo. So create yourself a free github.com account, go to it, and then click new repo. Name your repo something like market or storefront demo. Okay. And you don't need a description, but I'll put a description. 3D storefront demo as a file. You want it public, so don't mess with any of the other stuff. Just name it, give it a description if you want, and click create repository. I believe it has to be public in order to use it as hosting. Now that your website, or now that your repo is created, you're on this screen and you click upload an existing file. Now you're at the screen where you can drag and drop to upload things. The thing is, I have not downloaded what I want to upload yet. Oops. So I got to go back over here to the Play Canvas Project tab, and I need to click version control and go to builds and publish and download a zip. Out of habit, I click select all and optimize seed format. You don't really need to do those things, but I'm going to freak out if I don't click those things. Now, downloading, or not downloading yet, it's preparing it, then it's going to download it. There it goes. I'll open it, but actually I don't want to open it. I want to unzip it. It has to be unzipped. So I'm going to extract it to storefront folder here. And these are the files that I want to upload. So let's go back to that repo I just created. I'm going to select the files I want to upload and drag them into here. And that's going to upload them. There's still a couple more steps. So hang with me. You can host your web world anywhere. You can self-host this thing, so you don't have to use GitHub Pages. You can use your own web space if you have your own web space. If you don't have your own web space, well then, you know your options are get your own web space or use GitHub Pages to try it out without your own web space. GitHub Pages is nice. There's, like I said, there's another step that we have to do here. And got to name this thing initial. While that's processing the files, let's look at the scene some here. Let's see. Now we're a daytime scene, so like as far as adding neons, we got the neon trees. Let's see if we can add a neon strip to the top here. You do have to be careful about putting too many objects in the scene if you want to run well on mobile, but let's not worry about that right now. The optimal way would be to, texture Atlas and use the 3D modeling software more, like 3ds Max or Blender. But there are a few good things you could do just by dropping in primitives here. And let's see, let's make a new material, and we'll call this material Neon Blue. And we'll give it an emissive blue. Assign it to this, but it's a little bit the wrong kind of neon because so I'm making a material right now that I'm going to use to make things look like they have little glowing strips in them. That. Okay, now this thing, let's make it a cylinder. So we're going to spice up this storefront model. By the way, the storefront model I actually sourced from Sketchfab. It was a predefined thing. That's why it already had the texture atlas baked into it nice. I did replace the ground though because I wanted higher resolution ground. But we'll add some little neon lights glowing to the interior here. And with post-processing effects like bloom and stuff, these neon lights will look awesome. Okay, now since I'm not concerned as much right now as for performance, I'm going to add actual lights in front of these neons so they're actually emitting light. You usually should not do that. You usually want to have as well, it depends on what you're targeting. If you want to target mobile, you want to run well on mobile, you don't want to have too many lights. However, Play Canvas engine here, which is what the Web Worlds SDK runs on, it was updated recently to support lots of lights using clustered lighting. So, I believe clustered lighting is on by default, yeah. So we might be able to do something cool here. I'll get back to publishing. I'm actually going to re-download this and re-upload everything in a second. But, with these lights added. Okay, now if A well-lit environment looks best, like an optimized one, it looks best bright because there's not too much happening with shadows and stuff and everything's baked. If you're adding a whole bunch of, if you're going to go hard with the lighting and the neons and all that kind of stuff, dark environments work out best. So I'm going to put a blue light in front of this neon, but in order to actually make it look like it's emitting light, because there's not too much of a contrast with the bright environment around it, my light has to be cranked way up. Usually you want to use a spotlight. I'm going to use an Omnilight right now though. The reason is Omnilights, they have to create a shadow map that casts in all directions, while a spotlight only has to create light that casts in one direction. So I'm going to make this like this. I don't want to add more shapes to this to make it look like it has a mount, because every shape that you add actually adds a draw call. That's why you should do most of your editing in 3ds Max or Blender or whatever before you export. Also, I want to not put too many extra lights here, so I'm going to put this in the corner so it could look like it is two different lights. Okay, I'll add that over here also. Right here. Okay, that brightens things up some. Maybe I can even increase the radius on these a little bit. Not too much. Okay, that adds a little bling to these reflective textures. So the structure itself is Atlas. That's why it doesn't look as shiny as the other things. Yeah. Looks alright without getting into the Atlas to change the actual model for the building. And on the outside, where it's really bright, we could add something that looks like it's orange. We could add some more. Let's see if there's if we could add a neon out here, a neon colored thing to kind of look like a neon light. You wouldn't be able to tell very much if it was blue. What if it was orange? Ooh, yeah, you'd be able to tell if it was orange. I don't know if that's a good thing, though. You know what I should do to get the most out of a light that I add? Is I should add a spotlight. And it should be really bright and just shine a really colorful light at the building. And we should have another one over here that is like blue instead. And now our building looks nuts. And it was just 2 spotlights instead of a whole bunch of omnis inside. Okay, that's good, that's good. Got a couple neons here for against the wall. All right, we need to get this thing onto the parcel and we need to test it. Yeah, the color looks nice up here too. But you know, it's a trade-off. Adding lights is not good for performance, but it's great for visuals. Oops, I accidentally took that light out, didn't I? So always a trade-off with this. We're gonna have some good visuals with this. All right, now let's export this new one. Now again, there's clustered lighting now in this engine. So, oh, my camera just turned off, didn't it? Is it gonna come back? It might not. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let me work on getting my camera back here. And then I'm going to be republishing this thing and putting it back onto the GitHub Pages repo that I made. Hey, I'm back. And then we'll see it in World and make sure the URLs are loading and the videos are loading. So we're going to go to Settings, Version Control, Publish. We're going to download a new zip. So now, let's say that you wanted to come and you wanted to update what you already put on your GitHub repo. Easy! Now you just come to your page and you click Add File and you say you want to upload files. And now you just upload your files again. I need to unzip them again because I just re-downloaded them. Okay. Okay, so after you upload the files, and I click just confirm on this commit. A commit, if you're not familiar with Git here, or GitHub here, a commit is you uploaded a bunch of commit changes. It kind of says right there. You upload all of your changes, and they're not live until you commit them. So you uploaded them, but you still got to commit them. You're not done after you've uploaded them. And after I do this, we're going to have I think like 2 more steps, including going and binding it to the parcel, which is actually pretty easy to do. So in the documentation, the step that we're at is down here at the hosting part. Now I don't have to worry about CORS. That's if you're hosting it on your own server, you have to worry about CORS. But if you're using GitHub Pages, don't have to worry about it. The thing I do have to worry about though, let me commit this change. Is I have to create something called .nojecl or something. Let me see. Right here, .nojey and all this stuff. This word here, I have to create a file like this. So after my files are processed here, I'll show what that's like. By the way, the process that I'm setting up right here, it's called using Git pages to host your Play Canvas project. Our Play Canvas project is the Somnium web world built on the SDK template, but it's the same instructions if you look it up like a YouTube video. Okay, now we're here. Now I need to want to create a new file. This is the weird step where I have to create that .nojexel file. It's a blank file, and then I just say, yeah, you always have to have a comment in your commit. Okay, now I have the files on here that I want to host like a website. But by default, your repos aren't hosted like a website. You have to go to settings and go to pages. Deploy from branch. No, that's not it. Right here where it says branch, you got to choose your branch as main and then click save. So for branch, you choose your main branch and then click save. And now you're kind of done. You can go back to your repo over here. The thing is, you have to wait for it to automatically do some stuff. So the next few steps are actually sitting here clicking refresh until it's going to give you some information down here. There, environments. This popped up because I went to the GitHub Pages thing and I told it to use the main. Okay, so it's waiting to deploy. Now it's queued to deploy. Okay. Now it's deployed. All right, let's view the deployment. And this is going to look exactly like if you were just testing it. Just like if you were testing it from the Play Canvas editor. So it's like, okay, I'm walking around here. All right. Now let's actually bind it to a parcel. So it works. We tested it and it works. We were able to load it. It always works when you do GitHub Pages, so that isn't so important right now for how we're doing it. But now we got to go to somniumspace.com/parcel. We have to go to the parcel that we want to assign this to. I'm misspelling something. Oh, it's just one L. Okay. I'm not going to assign it to this parcel. This has the web world on it that I made last week. There's another one that I'm going to assign it to that also has a web world on it, but it's one that I made a couple weeks ago, so it's okay to replace it. I like the web worlds living a couple weeks at least before they get taken down and swapped out with other examples. So to find the place that I'm trying to assign this to, which one is it? It's none of these. I don't remember the number of this parcel I'm looking for, so I'm hoping if I just click popular parcel over and over again, it'll come up. It might not. Okay, it looks like a house in the thumbnail. And if I don't find it soon, oh, there it is. Nice. Okay, so let's give one last goodbye to this web world that's on it. This is a pretty cool web world. This web world, there are 0 lights in this entire scene. Let me lock my mouse here. 0 lights in the entire scene, which means that this runs really, really well on mobile devices. All the lighting that you see is baked in to the model. So, highly optimized, runs on a potato. We're going to take it down for right now. It's got some cool collisions in it too. You can actually lock up this thing. And then you're up here. And this is like an art gallery house. Okay. Take it down and put the other one on. So this is how you do that. You click that button. the settings button, and you go to, is it more options? Wait a second, hang on. Oh, I'm not logged in. I signed in as a guest. I need to log in. You have to log in. You go to the parcel you want to assign the thing on, you log in, and when you're logged in, then you'll have the menu option for adjust parcel settings. Now, this URL, the one that we just hosted on the GitHub pages, that's the URL that I'm going to paste in there. Okay, so we're going to paste this into there and click, it's a holistic world there, custom holistic. Click save and reload. And here we are. Log in here. And we have to try to go interact with the thing. Hello world. Chat bubbles there. That's what I was talking about, chatting with people visiting. Lots of powerful lights floating around here, so you'll see them reflecting off of me when I get near them. Somewhat powerful. With some post-processing, the lighting will probably look pretty good in here, but let's try these screens. Website, view in world. I can't load these hackmd URLs in world. That's a problem. We're gonna have to redeploy. Have a few minutes to do that, that's okay. So the sample URL that I put there didn't work out. But this one should work out. Good. And I just put little stickers near them that said whether it's a video or a website. But I'm gonna have to recompile this, and then I'll come back, turn on some post-processing, and get some good shots of it. But I need to fix that what loads in that page. Okay, what am I going to load in that iframe? Because this is all a mock-up, right? I don't have an actual product website to put in there, so I could put another. I don't know. I'm going to explore some and put a different website in there. It sucks that this one didn't work. Maybe if I published this, it would. Let's try it. Oh, wait a second. Read everyone. That's probably why. Now let's try it again. Hey! All right. Wonderful. And it has the note on there like I wanted to say, because I was trying to get a point across. The t-shirt inventory list. This is where you could have an up-to-date showcase of your t-shirt inventory. Putting your real inventory list on an in-world 2D screen instead of as 3D objects allows you to update your inventories without needing to update the 3D world every time to match. And look, I'm going to update what's on the content of that in-world screen. Now, this is a deployed web world, right? It is on my parcel. And I'm going to change what's on that screen without touching the 3D world. And that was like the whole point, like it's describing right there. Because you could like change inventory, add a new t-shirt or something in there. But I'm going to go over here and say, links from your links from your in-world 2D inventory list out to actual product pages should open new tabs. Should usually open new tabs. Links from your in-world 2D inventory list out to the actual product pages should usually open a new tab so that normal customer checkout flow can occur. Because checkout pages are usually not going to run inside of an iframe. And to do this, you just add like the target. If you make a web page, it's just you define a target to be like _blank, and that's going to always open in a new web tab. Okay, now let's see the changes over here. All right, I'm going to close this and click on it again, and then there's my new changes instantly down there. And you can put images and stuff on there too. Now I don't suggest that you use HackMD for your actual in-world screens, but this is just an example. Okay, cool. The website works, the video works. There are always improvements in the works for Somnium Web. And the WebWorlds SDK. I believe we're on WebWorlds SDK version 1, according to the documentation. Yeah, so we're in alpha here. So keep an eye out for more updates, and especially to interactive objects and making your web worlds work for you more. Not just to sell your products, that's literally working for you, but to work for your creativity and allow you to create these more interactive things for people to do while they're hanging out on your parcel. Because you can come here, you can watch product videos, you can link out and browse inventories and link out the stores and stuff, but there's more than that that's going on here. This is like a social multiplayer world in your storefront. So the more entertainment that you can mix in with your location, the more social attractions that you can put into there, the better. Okay, I am going to float around here in spectator mode and get some good pictures and tweet this out to Twitter. Oh, I teleported onto the roof. The roof doesn't have correct collisions. Watch out for the roof. Some nice bright colors out here in the front. The spotlights. Okay, so thanks everybody for tuning in, and I will be back this Friday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, to do a new build. Oh, my camera went out again. That's no good, man. I apologize for that. I don't even know how long it's been out. Dang. There. I'll be back Friday, to do a new build. Probably a world, maybe just something that's in a regular from the regular builder. Who knows? They're both pretty fun, and a lot can be done in both. I call building in the WebWorlds SDK here, it's kind of like medium mode, because you are using an engine, an engine editor. While when you do easy mode, like from the parcel builder in the desktop client of Somnium, it is really easy. You're just playing around with primitives. It's a lot of fun. This is fun too, but different levels of fun, different levels of difficulty. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and keep an eye out on Twitter for the link and the screenshots. And I will see you all next time. Today was a little bit of a short stream because I started a little late, but we got it done. And yeah, bigger and better things always in the next stream. So any little things here that are kind of frustrating, like, hey, this is pretty good, but it could have a whole city around it, or it can have better lighting. It could target, desktop computers and have more 3D stuff instead of being so optimized, fairly optimized. So always new challenges and new things to be done. So be sure to click follow, and I'll see you all next week, or at the end of the week, for the next adventure. Thanksgiving's on Thursday, but I will still be doing the stream on Friday because Friday's not Thanksgiving. All right, everybody, later.